Good morning. It is Monday. Happy Labor Day. I am at work in my car waiting for the next person to come so I can go in the building, so it's going to be some crappy lighting. But as long as you hear the message, I think it'll be all right. So Friday, I was talking about never giving up and how I had a cool story to share, but I have a different story to share first. So if you watched my second Friday video, it was about a goal I was trying to hit. It was the last day of the month, and when you have your own business, the last day of the month, you're trying to do the numbers, figure out what you need to do to hit your goals, things like that. I had signed up, joined a challenge at the beginning of July, and it was with doTERRA, and I just wanted to do the things mostly for me. So there were some requirements to meet. I never think about the prizes, but what can I learn and how can I grow? And so I really wanted to hit that goal, and I didn't know who was going to buy my last purple kit, so I decided to just throw a live out there, and someone bought my purple kit. Thank you, Tiffany. Not somebody that I had expected. That's another thing too. Don't ever be closed-minded. I had a few people in mind who had been to classes or were interested in oils that might buy my purple kit, but this wasn't their time. It was Tiffany's time, so she got a purple kit, and I was way excited to hit my goal. So that's awesome. I didn't give up. It was the last day of the month, and I was not ready to give in. So kind of cool. But my real story that I wanted to share with you on Friday, and hopefully it won't take too long because someone will be here in a minute, but I was at the cemetery. I'm trying to think how long ago. It's been a little while. And there was a man standing at a grave near one of the graves that I was visiting, and I just asked if I could give him a hug. So I hugged this stranger, and his name was Don, and he started to talk to me, and he was telling me how he was so upset that his wife's grass was not green. And he actually had a bucket in the back of his truck and a piece of a hose, and I think he probably siphoned it to get it going. But he did this, I don't know how often, but quite often. He just lived a few minutes away, he said, and he would come and water her grass. So number one, really touching story, really cute old guy, watering his wife's grave. So I loved that, but he was right. The whole little area was brown compared to a lot of the rest of the cemetery that was green. He said, if I would have researched it and paid attention, I would have bought a plot about 20 feet either right or left, and I would have green grass. So I said, oh, you're right. And we talked for a little bit, and I suggested he take video of one of the sprinklers that was being blocked by a big headstone. Take pictures, take video, go talk to the Syracuse Cemetery, go talk to Syracuse City, see if they can do something for you. I talked for a little while. I offered to paint a rock for his wife's grave, and so I did that, took a rock with purple flowers on it several days later, and when I went, the cemetery had been aerated. So I thought that was kind of cool. I know that we've done that with our lawn, and it makes it greener and healthier. So that was exciting to me, and then I went on, and several days later, I went back, and before I went back, I think he came to my store. So he came to my work to find me and thank me for his rock. I wrote, "Hi, Don," on the back, and he said he was just so touched. He almost cried when he saw his message, and he really appreciated me taking the time, that he didn't believe that I would go and put a rock on her grave like I said I would. And he came to tell me that he had talked to Syracuse Cemetery or Syracuse City, one of the other top bosses, and told them and took pictures of his story, and that the boss said he was going to come. And he said that just like he didn't believe I would take a rock, he didn't believe that the cemetery guy would come and look at his situation. But he said he was there getting water from the fill station for his wife, and here comes this big boss. And I guess he said, "Will you come take a look at my plot?" And so the guy said, "Sure, no problem." And he went over there and said, "Oh, yep, you're right. We've got to move that sprinkler." And so Don came to my store to tell me that the cemetery guys had moved the sprinkler, and he was so excited, and I gave him a high five and told him I was so proud of him for not giving up, that, he was going to help all of these families now have greener grass. And I went last week and almost cried when I saw how green her grass was. It just looks beautiful. And I took him a rock that had a golf scene on the front, because he said he was a golfer, and on the back I wrote, "You did it, Dawn, her grass looks beautiful." And it's because he didn't give up, and it was something that was very important to him. He stuck with it and followed through, and all of those families that live in Jean's neighborhood now have green grass. And so I just thought it was a really cool story about how if it is something that you want and you go after it and you don't give up and you shoot for the stars, you will land among them. So I love you guys. It's Monday. I know I said I would give that to you Friday. Maybe I'll try and post a before and after picture of her grave in the comments if I can figure out how to maybe blur her name and information out. But have a great holiday. Today's actually mine and Matt's anniversary, so we have some dinner plans and stuff. Happy anniversary, Matt. I know you don't usually watch these, especially the long ones, but I love you. And I will see you after work.